pushing the boundaries of what's possible in education by integrating technology and artificial intelligence. Their mission, to make learning more personal, inclusive, and forward-thinking. But this story is bigger than education. It is about challenging how we think across all industries. Today, we'll see how mindset change can unlock new value chains, not just in education, but across our entire economy. We are joined today by the founder and visionary behind Grey's Ed, Mr. Motheo Kgengwenyane. Mr. Motheo Kgengwenyane, good evening and welcome to the hashtag PushaBW A RE CHENCHEng show.
Good evening, Sean. Thanks for having me.
All right. Mr. Kgengwenyane, I want us to jump straight into our conversation and start it off here. Traditional education often follows a rigid one-size-fits-all approach. What inspired you guys to think or rethink this and start Grey Ed?
Well, that's a good question. This is more of a personal journey for me as well, because I'm dyslexic. I was diagnosed with dyslexia quite early on, and dyslexia is a learning disability that affects the way you read, spell, and process words and languages. And we learn very different. But when I was 5, 6 years old, I couldn't read or write. My teachers didn't know what to do, and the school itself, they had a special needs department, but they did their best, but it wasn't adequate. It wasn't enough.
Right.
This was up until I got a specialized dyslexic tutor, and they started helping me with my reading speed, my spelling. I was getting 0 out of 20 averaging.
Yeah.
It would be good if I got 5.
Yeah.
Then everything started improving, maths, memory, all that. And that's when it made me realize the value of personalized education. And also on top of that, I saw my tutor 1 hour after school. And in that hour, it did more for me than the 6 hours, 6, 7 hours a normal school would have.
Yeah.
And that showed me, are we really using the most of the time that we have at school? So these questions started coming up, and that led me to start with let's make education personalized first. Because if it wasn't personalized to me, I would have failed at primary school. I would be somewhere working, maybe probably on a farm, and they would have classified me as naughty, can't read, doesn't listen, can't write, all those things. But that's not a person. So it led me to find Grey Ed, where we personalize education using artificial intelligence for the student.
Awesome stuff. So talking about Grey Ed, what was it like? What were the challenges?
It was difficult because I was trying to figure out who to target. Are we targeting the student?
Right.
Or teachers, parents? Because many parents come asking, say, I want to help my child, but I don't know how to. Then what tools can I use to help with my child's homework? Or tutors themselves. Are we going to help them? Schools? So I figured, let's start by helping the student. Let's make it personalized for the student, where we have an AI go and learn everything about the student, hobbies, interests, whether they support Arsenal, their favorite player, their favorite player used to be Alexis Sanchez, have a cousin who loves playing football, have their family, everything about them, preferred learning style, possible learning disabilities, and then based off the curriculum itself, so whether it's BG, IG, A-level, PSLE, it tailors the education based taking all that into context and giving the child a lesson.
Wow.
Then we decided, but teachers are very passionate. They're very passionate, but they don't get enough support. So how can we support them? A teacher will spend 6 hours a week on lesson planning and other admin tasks. I mean, that's a lot they should be spending with the student. So then now we automate all that. Lesson planning, grading, all that was automated, all based off the curriculum again.
Wow.
Yeah.
So the platform is now able to assist both the student and the teacher to better get value out of the learning experience and process.
Yeah.
Very,
very
very
much so,
exciting.
yeah.
And before, I want us to maybe just take a quick break, just to take a quick pause. But before we do that, I want to find out, you know, your thoughts on the old system. Why did you see such a huge need for the divergence away from the norm?
That's a good question. Well, the old system, currently how it works is you have one teacher, they have 30 different personalities,
Right.
and they have one teaching method.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, from the get-go, that already doesn't make sense. So the lesson is not even personalized to the student. And before, when we were talking, you raised a very good point that
Right.
when you're young, you're just put into school,
Mm-hmm.
and no one teaches you how to learn.
Yeah.
No one teaches you how to think, but they teach you what to think.
Yeah.
You know, they tell you, here's a circle, and it's a circle because it's round.
Yeah.
But why is a circle round? And those are the questions you should be understanding, why that is. So the old system, I think it expands back 100 years. It's what they used for training factory workers.
Mm-hmm.
So you were training people in a way that you didn't want them to think creatively. You didn't want them to think for themselves. You wanted to tell them what to think.
Ah.
But that has failed. I mean, that's been failing us.
Mm-hmm.
And especially in a continent where we have so many problems, and we desperately need innovative solutions. So the old system to me didn't make any sense. We needed something that was personal, and that it just completely needs to change because, you know, our failure rate right now for Botswana, I mean, it's scary.
Of course. Right. And on that very inspired observation, I want us to take a quick break. We'll be back on the other side of this. If you are just joining us, we are in conversation with a visionary founder of Grey Ed, an innovative tech company in the education space, Mr. Motheo Kgengwenyane. We're taking a quick break. We're back on the other side of this. How does this mindset shift in education prepare students to take on future challenges, especially as somebody that comes from a background of having a learning disability, a dyslexia?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's a good question, and I'll give a sneak peek.
Yeah.
So what we're developing is something that so right now we have typical AI, large language models, that produce intelligence, so IQ.
And we're back in conversation with Grey Ed, a local tech company in the education space, with their visionary founder, Mr. Motheo Kgengwenyane, taking us through their company and the mindset needed to continue to make leaps in innovation in the education space. Mr. Kgengwenyane, welcome back.
Thank you.
Right, so when we went to break, ne re buisana jalo ka tsone dikgwetlho tse nne le di lebile ga le tla simolodisa yone company ya lona ya Grey Ed Education e leng gore e ikaegile ka boranyane bo bo itsegeng thata ka artificial intelligence. Gongwe re ka tsamaela fa ra boa ra ba Motswana mo dinakong ka gore yone artificial intelligence e le one maranyane a la dirisang go tsamaisa platform e ya lona ke maranyane a ntseng yang. What exactly is artificial intelligence, just so that we are all on the same page?
Okay, that's a great question and a good start. Artificial intelligence is a section in computer science, and basically what the goal is to simulate a highly intelligent human brain, where now it can think for itself, it can reason, it can make decisions, just like how the human brain works. AI works the exact same way. And now this is something new that's never happened before, because for the first time ever in human history, we are producing intelligence, intelligent computing. where it can think, it can solve problems in ways that we are yet to solve in as well, you know, and it keeps getting smarter and smarter. You know, think of it as a human brain that's been uploaded to a computer. That's how we should think about it. You can talk to it, have conversation. You can ask it, how was this day? It will probably say that it doesn't have a day because it's just a computer.
Yeah.
But you can have conversation with it. You can ask it to, you know, make content for your business idea. You can ask it to make a marketing plan for your business idea. You can ask it, how do I apply my business idea in Zambia, different than in Botswana? So you can have conversation with it, etc. So it's a form of intelligence that you can talk to.
Right.
Yeah.
Now, coming back to, you know, your business, Lily Gray's Ed, as a tech company in the education space, your approach to education, or tlalusitse hale in the first segment, Hore, you are trying to create personalized learning solutions for learners and also assist the education providers, being the teachers. Your approach goes beyond academics, you know, focusing on emotional intelligence and leadership. How does this mindset shift in education prepare students to take on future challenges, especially as somebody that comes from a background of having a learning disability, a dyslexia?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's a good question, and I'll give a sneak peek.
Yeah.
So what we're developing is something that can, so right now we have typical AI, large language models, that produce intelligence, so IQ. Now we want something that can be very good at understanding human emotions, so EQ.
Right.
So we're developing something that can detect how you're feeling through voice, video, and text, and respond in real time to how you're feeling. And then can take you through a young therapy session and make you feel heard, understood, but also guide you in the right direction. So this is important because in Botswana we're facing a severe mental health crisis amongst adults and also young people.
Right.
We're one of the unhappiest countries in the world, according to the UN Happiness Index, and that needs to be attended to. And so this is why we went in this direction, thinking we need to integrate emotional intelligence to the students' educational journey. And we're doing this as well because we want to have schools that are 2 hours, 2-hour learning, and then the rest of the 4 hours, the students are doing life skills. So learning how to start a business, learning how to do real estate investing, manage their financials, all those things they should be learning when they're young.
Right.
You know, so that's what we're trying to do as well.
Very, very beautiful, very exciting. And I think obviously the question in most parents' minds and most learners' minds is, this sounds like a very exciting platform. This sounds like a very exciting technology and a very exciting way of learning. I want to experience it. How do we access the Gray Ed portal or the Gray Ed platform? Where are you available?
We're available online. Anyone can just Google Gray Ed and then go onto our website and sign up. There's the students and the teachers one. Students sign up for students, obviously. Teachers sign up for teachers. Parents can sign up for the teachers to learn how to help your child with their homework, give them extra lessons if you have that free time. And it's all based off the curriculum that the student is studying. The AI will go and learn everything about the student, their personality, everything, so that it can tailor the tutoring to the student.
Right.
And with schools, we're partnering with schools to deploy AI within the school. So certain schools will be having AI as well, where students can access it there.
And which brings me obviously to the next question, bringing AI into the classroom. AI being a new way of learning or a new technology could possibly be met with certain resistance, right? What or how do you help shift the mindset to embrace technology in learning amongst both teachers, students, and parents?
Well, it's very important for them to understand the problem. They need to understand the current way that we're doing things is not working.
Right.
BGCSE has averaged a failure rate of 70% for the past 10 years. That's. I mean, we don't even need to.
It's a call for action, pretty much.
It is. So we need to help them understand the problem, and then we show them the value of what AI can do for a child's education. Obviously, there are the safety concerns, and Grey Ed has safeguards in place where a child cannot use it for anything other than education. But yeah, when the thing is, that's not hard because parents are desperate. I mean, they're so passionate about their child's education, they'll do anything. Teachers are the same. They're so passionate and looking for help for anything that can help them deliver a good teaching experience. They actually opt in, and they're like, how do I access it?
Yeah.
So it's not really a thing of convincing, but a thing of allowing them access and showing where to get access to.
Awesome stuff. I want us to take one last quick break where we will be back to come and, wrap up our conversation. But it has been quite the learning experience for us, and I do believe our viewers at home are also learning quite a bit from you and the technical innovation you're bringing to education. Beautiful stuff.
Thanks.
All right, and we are taking a quick break where we will come back and finalize our conversation with this visionary young man, the founder of Grey Ed, Mr. Motheo Monti. Mr. Motheo Monti. We're back. What other challenges have you run into in your journey of, starting and operating Grey Ed?
Well, I think the biggest challenge, other than normal business challenges, the biggest challenge is the mindset.
Yeah.
I've started a few businesses before, but most of them failed until my mindset actually did change.
And welcome back to the last leg of our conversation on the hashtag PushaBW A RE CHENCHEng show, a show that focuses on local entrepreneurs making interesting waves and innovations in their chosen industries. Today's conversation is with visionary founder and leader of Grey Ed, Mr. Motheo Kgengwenyane. Welcome back, Mr. Motheo.
Great.
Sir, before we went to break, you gave us some very interesting insights on introducing AI into the classroom, and I am very happy to learn that there is a keen appetite, especially from the educators, to learn more about your platform and actually start using it. I think the next question that we possibly could ask is, yourself as a young entrepreneur in the tech space, obviously there's some challenges that you've been coming across, that you've been facing. We've mentioned those of starting the business. What other challenges have you run into in your journey of, starting and operating Grey Ed?
Well, I think the biggest challenge, other than normal business challenges, the biggest challenge is the mindset.
Yeah.
I've started a few businesses before, but most of them failed until my mindset actually did change. And it's kind of ironic about the A RE CHENCHEng, but it's not because of, I'm not telling because of that. It's actually because it's a genuinely, everything changed when my mindset changed. In Botswana, when you start a business, especially young people, I just finished university, so when we start a business, we think Botswana. Yeah. We think, oh, I'm going to create this business for Botswana, and we'll operate here. Yeah. We don't think the world. The world shares problems. The same educational problems we have here, Zambia has, Korea has, US has, UK has. It's just at different levels, but the same problem. So my mindset had to change to think more global. And then my mindset also had to change on, in business, there are no rules. There's no one way to do business. Right. When you go ask all the top 10 entrepreneurs in Botswana, get each of their stories, all different. Their business models, different. There's no one way to do business. So unlocking that, saying, you know what, it's okay for me to go into the unknown and reinvent the wheel, because there's actually no right way to do anything. So changing that mindset to, it was very difficult, especially in our culture here in Botswana. As a young person, when you go up to an adult, for example, when I go up to an adult and I talk to them and I'm like, here's an idea which I think can really solve your problem. And then they, let's say, reverse with a challenge.
All right.
It's very difficult to now say, no, I hear you, but let me explain to you. It feels like you're talking back to a moholo. And breaking that is very difficult, even though you want to have conversation with them as equals.
All right.
As well as this notion that you can't start a business when you're in university. I mean, that's very possible.
It's a myth.
It's a myth. I mean, I think that's the best part.
Yeah.
Because when you're young, you have no dependents. You don't have, most of them don't have wives, don't have kids. So you can actually take the biggest risks.
Yeah.
And you can afford to fail because it'll only be on you. Unlike when you grow older, you have kids, you have adult, the amount of risk you can take changes. So also just a whole pool of things that changed my mindset, allowed me to actually think global. Now we have global partners.
Yeah.
You know, we're working in different countries. So all this as a Botswana also is like, you know, strange.
Which actually brings me to my next question in terms of, you know, your partners. Who are your key partners, both nationally and globally, that are helping make this dream of personalized education reach the entire globe?
Yeah, so we have our local partners are usually schools. We're partnered with also, you know, teachers, because unfortunately it's very difficult to access Botswana data and information because it's not online.
Yeah.
So you actually have to have partners who are willing to give you the information. We have we're working with one of the major universities in the UK. They're using our technology to conduct research for their research purposes.
Oh, wow.
We have working with a New York-based NGO. They operate in 3 countries, Ghana, Laos, and Guatemala. And they're in the education-based NGO. And we have deployed the AI across there. And then regionally, we have partners in Kenya, because they're quite aggressive.
Yeah.
They've also done the same as us in Botswana in terms of giving students tablets. But they found a problem that students aren't using them for education.
Yeah.
They've run into that problem.
Students being students.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Young people being young people, you know. So again, like, go back to the thing, they're not taught how to learn. So we're partnering with them to try solve that.
Yeah.
As well as just our value proposition as well.
Awesome stuff.
So yeah, those are, we operate in different countries. Yeah.
The partners, yeah. So let's look to the future. What's your vision for the future of education in this country, and how important, according to your understanding and experience, would mindset change be in making that vision a reality?
Well, right now, a mindset is required, especially for the education sector, because it's one of the most difficult industries to change, because it's been set for so long. So my dream is to have grade schools where you have 2-hour learning and then 4 hours of life skills.
Yeah.
It's highly personalized to you, because you can afford to learn in 2 hours because the education is personalized to you. So you grasp it faster and you can take in more. So that's the dream, and now we flip our failure rates to have 95% pass rate and 5% failure rate. We already have high completion rates in Botswana. People actually do attend and finish schools. So that's a good thing. So that's the dream, and then we just have a bunch of innovators. 15-year-olds who have startups.
Awesome stuff. And I want you to speak to that 15-year-old that is aspiring to have a startup. As your closing words, what would you say, what advice would you give to entrepreneurs or innovators or even policymakers that will get to watch this episode who want to challenge the status quo in their own industries?
Well, what I say to them is, when you think you can't do something, ask yourself, why am I saying that? Is there a limit that I've put on myself? And then start from there, and then just innovate. Just go digital, go learn. You need to keep learning. You need to keep learning how to use AI. Just dive deep into it. You'll find a problem that you can provide a solution to. Policymakers, what's working, what's been happening is not working. So we actually need to change radically. Parents, allow your children to experiment and do those things. but it's very much possible. There are no rules. Do what my thing is. You have a moral responsibility to yourself, to your family, and your community to act in the best interest of society, and do that. There's no age limit.
Beautiful way to end such an inspired episode. Thank you so much, Monty, for taking some time out to come and educate us on Grey Ed, the importance of AI and leveraging technology, to do amazing things for the future. Thank you so much.
Thank you for having me. I appreciate it.
Awesome stuff. And on that note, we come to the end of this conversation. We've seen today that mindset change is the key to unlocking innovation, whether in education, business, or in any other industry. Grey's Ed education journey shows us how we can rethink the way we approach problems can lead to incredible results, not just for individuals, but for ourselves and the society as a whole. Good evening.
Botswana Decide, the moment we've all been waiting for. Presidential debates, live